Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Marvels. Yes, that it premiered around 2 hours ago or so at midnight Pacific time in the United States. It's been on Blu-ray and 4K and digital hard copy kind of releases already, but this is the first few hours that it's been on Disney Plus, and here's my thoughts on it. It is an hour and 47 minutes long. It's obviously from this year. Well, no, not this year. Last year. Sorry, it's been a few months. Came out in November of 2023, and this is obviously the latest superhero film from Marvel, and we're not getting another one until Deadpool. I think Deadpool's the only one this year, other than Madam Web, but that's Sony. Might get Craven. There's a bunch of I don't know. Doesn't matter. In this, we have Brie Larson returns as Captain Marvel. Iman Vellani is Ms. Marvel from the Ms. Marvel series on Disney+. Teyonah Parris is Monica Rambeau / Photon, even though the name isn't technically used in the film. We first got to see her in the WandaVision series, where she got her powers. Spoiler. By the way, I'm not going to give spoilers out for this film at all. I'm going to pretty much be tight-lipped. I will say that there is an important mid-credits sequence. There is a not important end credits sequence. In fact, there is no sequence really, it's just sounds. It's just sounds, and it has no bearing on anything whatsoever. It's just silly. So the mid-credits sequence is incredibly important for the future of Marvel cinematic universe going forward, as is the final scene of the main film, which has a surprise guest in it. The main film final scene and the mid-credit sequence, hugely important. This is a crux film. This is a kind of a major opening yourself to a larger world kind of moment. Yeah. If you know that reference, then you know what I'm talking about. So, it's this, like I said, this stars Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, Iman Vellani, Samuel L. Jackson, and I want to say the name is Zawe Ashton. Ashton, yes, the type is very small. I can't see very well. Zawe, I'm sure, hopefully I'm saying that right. Zawe Ashton is the villain in this. Darben, she's a Kree, and she is out to do some damage. Okay, I'm not going to spoil, like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but her motives seem pretty villainous. But as it is with many Marvel films, to a degree, they're justified. To a degree, in her mind, they're justified. She's not, I am going to be evil and destroy the world, the galaxy. It's none of that. It's not that stuff. Yeah, sure, there's an element of diabolical kind of vengeance involved in certain ways, but as we watch the film, you determine that it's not unjustified. So what we do is we get, if you watch the Ms. Marvel series, you know that at the very end of that, something big happened for Ms. Marvel, which leads directly into this film. In fact, it's one of the, it sort of connects. I think they've reshot that final scene of the series in this film and connected it in a special way. You can see it in the trailers. I think it's pretty much understood. But these three women are connected. How are they connected? Well, you'll watch the film, obviously, right? Right. I know a lot of people didn't watch the film in theaters. It did the pretty low box office for a Marvel film. But I guess it's sort of that Disney Plus curse in a sense, where everybody just goes, do I want to spend $20 on a film? Or can I just wait for it to show up in 3 months on Disney Plus? I don't know. And again, it depends on how people feel. I mean, yes, I realize that the driving force behind a lot of Marvel movie openings and continued success are male. And there's a somewhat small but loud contingent of men who, for some reason, don't like Brie Larson. Well, there's plenty of reasons to like her. So, And I don't know. I honestly don't know. It boggles my mind. But again, this same thing is that I think there's a part of that curse is the fact that people feel that they do need to have watched the Ms. Marvel series and the WandaVision series and the first Captain Marvel film in order to know what's going on here. And to a certain degree, I think you should only have to watch the Captain Marvel film to be sure, to fully understand what's going on in this, at least between two of the main characters. It's pretty easy to understand where Ms. Marvel comes in. She is meant to be us in many ways because she's a fangirl. She is, honestly, if I was her in the same situation and I suddenly had superpowers and I was hanging out with the heroes like the Avengers or going into an outer space adventure with the Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, if I'm 16 years old, especially if I'm 16 years old, not what I am now, no, probably as I am now, I would still be, I'd be very, very excited and wanted to meet my heroes, meet the people that I love in these stories. Growing up, I'd love to just go to New York City and walk around the city just to see the places where the Avengers Mansion is, where the Baxter Building would be, where the Daily Bugle would be. Even though they didn't exist, I knew where they were in the city. And I was just like, oh, well, just Central Park East, just not far from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. That's where the Avengers Mansion is. I would go there just so I could stare at a place that's not the Avengers Mansion. That's the building, and it's not even the characters. It's not like somebody was outside dressed as Thor. It's, in the 80s. That's when I was doing this. So yeah, it's kind of, I'd go, maybe I see Spider-Man swing by, or what the heck? Okay. Must have let that go too long. Seeing Spider-Man swing by, or the Daredevils in Hell's Kitchen, that kind of thing. So I totally understand. I love Kamala Khan. Aman Vellani is us. And I know some people don't want to admit that, but she is. And her just total dorkiness is every Comic-Con goer's attitude. Even if they're not open to showing it, yeah, we gotta admit that. So Iman Vellani, to me, it just shows off the spirit of this film, the joy, the fun, the unabashed, just nerdiness of the moment, and I know that while there's a little bit of somewhat of conflict between Carol and Monica. There's a little bit of a strain in that relationship. We get a outer space sleepover in a sense for a moment. A little bit of a montage sequence in this. Not really a big spoiler, but we get a moment where the girls get to bond, and it's fun. If somehow you think this is just dumb, you're not getting it. I don't know. I know there's some of the people who complain that this seems like a patchwork. It's a bunch of different things kind of thrown together. No, there can be variety in this story, and not everything has to be all dark space inside a spaceship. Not everything has to be on Earth. Not everything has to be on an alien planet. There are Kree, there are Skrulls, there are superheroes in this, and that's, other than, honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy, we rarely get that kind of thing. Or the last two Avengers films, we don't get that. We do get a galaxy-spanning major moment, major threat to everything that the ladies have to shut down, and they do it capably. There's lots of action. There's lots of fighting sequences. If you're like, oh, they're just going to sit around and talk about their feelings, I don't know what movie you're watching. I honestly don't. There's plenty of great choreographed fight scenes. Yeah, it's good fun. And lots to laugh at, beyond just Iman. And both Carol and Monica give Kamala Khan a little crap for just being such a dork about things. but that's okay. They can jab at each other. Some of the funniest people in this is Samuel L. Jackson, of course, as Nick Fury, and actually a very different Nick Fury. That's not a spoiler, but is a very different Nick Fury than we saw in Secret Invasion, which was very much a spy drama thriller kind of thing, where everything was very dark and very serious for the most part. He is a lot more lighthearted in this. He gets a lot of funny lines in this. So, and not to mention Kamala's family, who also feature in this. If you're going to watch the series, any of the series, I recommend Ms. Marvel. I enjoyed it. There's some people who just didn't like it because it didn't really connect with them culturally, I guess. I don't know. To me, I don't get that. I enjoy seeing characters who accept who they are, who enjoy who they are, and enjoy discovering new things about themselves. And that's a pretty great origin story with Kamala. And that's all right. And here, she gets to meet her hero, and action ensues, dreams come true, and but they save. And I'm not going to spoil anything by saying they save the galaxy, but not without sacrifice. And that's it's a pretty big price to pay, and it's kind of important. That sacrifice leads to really big things going forward. So, yeah, I can't really say a whole lot more without spoiling anything. And I don't want to play apologist for people who just write this movie off out of hand without ever actually seeing it. Most of the people who poo-poo this film go, well, bad box office, so it must have been bad. Or women who have principles and things that don't align with mine, so it must be bad. Get over yourself, dude. The women are great as a team, individually, and the action's intense, and it's fun, and it's consequential, and I tell you, if you skip this one, when you watch the next few movies, Deadpool's going to be really messing around with a few things, for sure. But yeah, the next few regular movies, should I say regular Marvel movies, so much of it is going to point back to this film. Yeah. So, I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it watching it the second time. Lots of little things that I forgot were in this film. There's a climactic scene that I'm not going to ruin, but a number of people need to be rescued. And the solution they come up with is unconventional. The soundtrack, the music they use for this rescue scene is highly unconventional, but it makes complete sense. And it feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy moment. Yeah, Nia DaCosta has her own look and feel to this. It's not a James Gunn thing, but I'm telling you right now, if anything in this sci-fi adventure feels like just crazy fun chaos and an unconventional solution to a major problem, it's that scene. That you will know what I'm talking about when you see it and you hear it, if you haven't watched the film yet already. If you have watched the film and somehow you don't agree with everything I say, that's okay. But, leave your comments. As long as, be polite. Come on, dude. Just don't need any kind of miserableness. But yeah, I think the cast is great. Soundtrack is great. And I enjoyed the film immensely. And it's an easy watch, and considering it's also it didn't do great at the box office, but it's also the shortest film. So if you feel like you have to suffer through this film, well, guess what? You have to suffer less than you do with any other Marvel film. Whatever. Just to let you know, I accidentally picked tomorrow's episode yesterday because I forgot I was going to do this tonight. It's after 2 a.m. at this point. Number 22 was what I picked, and that is Animal Fight Night. So, Animal Fight Night, it's a documentary series, I guess, on National Geographic. I'm betting money. Animal Fight Night is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Further, faster, flyer, whatever. See you tomorrow.